Scan the QR code on the screen to get started with SuperDraft Pro to unlock exclusive free-to-play fantasy games, free sports betting, and iGaming online casino experiences. After you're done creating an account along with your monthly package on SuperDraft Pro, download the SuperDraft Fantasy Sports app along with the SuperDraft Sportsbook on Google Play or on the Apple App Store. SuperDraft, the official fantasy partner of Caesars Entertainment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this segment. Is for the SuperDraft NFL DFS lineup. I'm Shawn Stewart, as always, as the host of the S&P Sports Show. I have my very special friend, and as a matter of fact, we're also SuperDraft Pro coaches. I have my good friend, Mr. Andrew Fringe, all the way from Arizona. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I really appreciate you having me on.
Exactly. So not only going to do the NFL DFS lineup, but we're also going to be doing the Super Draft player props. So before we begin that, I also want to say this. So to get started with Super Draft, all you have to do is sign up at superdraftpro.com/sports for America. Choose your monthly package to win cashes and redeem prizes. There are certain states you can play the paid, but SuperDraft Pro is also available in 50 states. So it's the only daily fantasy that I know that you can play multiplayer mode, and you can also invite friends to play in as well. And they also have a free to play sports book and casino game. So I will recommend that as well. And I'll also put the link in the description below, by the way. So just in case you want to know about more about it. All right, so here we go. So I do have my cheat sheets, by the way, and as you can see, that is the lineup because the lineup we're using is called the multiplayer mode, where it's like one quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, one tight end, and then flex. Flex is like you can put in whatever. All right. So let us start with the quarterback. Go to quarterback. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now with the quarterback position, because I'm looking at the top three as like the confident ones. Now I look at Josh Allen because Josh Allen's set up as a 1X because as a matter of fact, the Bills and the Ravens they're actually facing each other, by the way. And I've said this before on my show, like I'm really not confident with this Ravens defense. It's just for some odd reason their defense is not like they used to. And then I look at Lamar Jackson. He's actually putting up a lot of stats, by the way, which is not surprising as far as like an MVP caliber. And then you also got to look at the Buffalo Bills secondary because that Bills secondary is not that good stopping the run. So I can see that as well. And then I also look at Jalen Hurts. I looked him up. I saw something about Jalen Hurts when I was doing my research. Here it is. Jacksonville's like the seventh most yards per reception and 11 most fantasy points to that position. And I'm looking as like, those are like your top three. So I was saying, you know what? This one's a really tough one between those three. I was like, you know what? I want to go with Josh Allen because he's been doing like more than almost 250 yards or more. But I don't know about you, but there are some other quarterbacks as well we're gonna go over. So who's your quarterback that you like so far between those three?
Yeah, so let me start off with Josh Allen. I think you're right there. Josh Allen is a good play this week. Why Baltimore is giving up so much is because they're missing their entire secondary. So that's huge. Josh Allen is for sure the number one quarterback on the slate. Lamar Jackson is going to get there. And we do have to catch the weather of this game because it is supposed to rain quite a bit. So that'll make me a little nervous. But both of these are running quarterbacks, so it's not that bad. Jalen Hurts has been absolutely on fire, right? I mean, he's showing everybody wrong. But this week against Jacksonville, I think is his actual toughest matchup so far. If you remember last year, every time he played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right, he
Right.
had terrible games. That last playoff game where the Bucks just took him out. Well, a member of that staff is the defensive coordinator for Jacksonville right now. They know that they need to move him left because when you watch Jalen Hurts run, he always runs to his right. He
Correct.
cannot run to the left. And that's exactly what Tampa did to him last year. So I think this is a tough test, but I'm not against going and putting him in because he is in the multiplier is what we're talking about here, right? He's
Correct.
1.1x versus 1x. And I think that's okay. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game on the slate, though.
And then if you want to go deep, you got Marcus Mariota sitting as 1.5x. You have Geno Smith as 1.6. Cooper Rush with 1.6, but I think they're going to run the ball more because Washington is not that good stopping the run. Then you got Cleveland, Jacoby Brissett with 1.6, and then Brian Hoyer with 1.75x since Mac Jones is out.
Yeah, I really don't like to go that low if I'm playing in SuperDraft for it because I'm not getting a salary savings, right? And Marcus Mariota has been decent so far. And I know that Myles Garrett's going to miss this game because of his car accident and everything. So that's going to help him out a little bit. But Cleveland's defense is still really good. And so I don't trust Marcus Mariota enough. 1.5x is not enough for me to put him in my lineup.
And I absolutely agree with that one. So that's why when I was looking at the bottom, I was like, I don't feel confident with them bottom of the quarterbacks because that's kind of a risk.
It is. It's too much of a risk. I don't see anyone down here that's really worth it unless you go to Carson Wentz. If you believe that that's going to be a shootout.
Yes, sir. Now we're going to head into the running backs. Now, this is the one I like about running backs because usually I'll get that one running back you know that you like, and then you get that deep running back that you think that's going to do well. So for my first one, I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know about Saquon Barkley because he's kind of iffy because he's sitting up as 1.1x. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I'm all in on Saquon, to be honest. All in. Chicago has been awful against the run. Just awful.
But he should get more than like 28 yards or more. He should with that Bears bad defense. He should. Then I also
is this a get right game for Jonathan Taylor then?
I like Jonathan Taylor for some odd reason. I like him because he always gives you that points in fantasy football. I like him a lot.
Oh, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is amazing. And then you look at his player profile, it's insane. I mean, the dude runs a 4.36 at 230
Which
pounds.
is impressive.
He is everything that you want. It's just that the Indianapolis Colts offense with Matt Ryan so far has been trash. It really has. It's worse than when Carson Wentz was there, which is surprising, but it hasn't come together. But Tennessee is, on their way down, so he could be a good play. But if I were to go for multipliers and I'm looking at the lower guys, running back positions where I hit. It's the same as if I'm playing in, DraftKings or something like that. I'm looking for the salary savings on the running back, not the rest of the positions.
And then you also got to have Nick Chubb because he's actually been trending up so far because he's sitting up at like 1.5.
Yeah, I like Nick Chubb, but he just doesn't catch anything. I mean, he gets like no reception, so I'm down on him. But Jamal Williams, we know he can pass catch. We know that 1.45, and then DeAndre Swift is out, and then DJ Chark is out, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is out. They have no passing game whatsoever. So would you be surprised if Williams came out and had 5 receptions and then over 100 total yards and a touchdown?
I would.
Yeah. So why not hit him at 1.45x?
Exactly. That's why I got him. That's why I'm like, yep, you know what? You might as well get Jamal Williams because I looked at him and was like, he does put a lot of points in fantasy football. People don't pay attention because people are so used to DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift is a baller, but he's out. So it's all Williams. And I hate saying this, but I think Devin Singletary is a good play too at 1.45x. He's been averaging like 7 targets a game.
Exactly. And then there's another one, AJ Dillon. He's sitting up as a 1.45x. He's going up as well because they're at Lambeau Field, and of course, New England. I feel bad for that Patriots defense, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
and I can see them going to like the red zone where they can run the ball.
I like AJ Dillon as a player. I don't like the whole situation in Green Bay. You don't really know who's going to get it when. It might be his week this week, but then he might also get absolutely nothing. I would be more inclined to play Rashad Penny at 1.5. They're playing in the dome at Detroit. Detroit is down every player that they have pretty much. So Seattle can be in this game the entire way, and Rashad Penny has to get them there.
Because both of those teams, Seattle and Detroit, they're not well on defense. That could be a shootout.
No, yeah, they're both pretty bad on defense.
Exactly. Especially you have Geno Smith as a quarterback. Now, let me put in my running back. Well, I'll put that in later on. But let's go to the wide receivers right now. So look at the wide receivers. So you have on the top, you have Stephon Diggs as 1x, AJ Brown as 1.1x. Then you have CeeDee Lamb at 1.15x, and then Amari Cooper with a 1.15x. Now with running backs, I get the top one, the middle one, and then who do you think is going to be like the deep one? So let's start with the top one, as I mentioned those on 4.
Yeah, top one for me this week is either Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams. Stephon Diggs, I mean, he's getting crazy targeted, but let me give you Devontae Adams. They're in a must-win situation. I mean, honestly, they're the only winless team in the NFL right now, and they shouldn't be bad. This should be a good team. They went to the playoffs last year, and what they did in week 1 was pepper Devontae Adams with targets. He had like 15 targets in week 1, and then it fell down to like 7 targets or something, and then 3 targets. It was bad. It's fallen down, but I think this week it comes right back up. And I would even think of putting a FanDuel Sportsbook at 2 touchdowns on Devontae Adams this week going against Denver. Even though Denver is a great defense. I mean, they're not giving up anything, but Devontae Adams has to be involved.
And then from the second top, you got Deontay Johnson as 1.2x, Marquise Brown at 1.25, Cortland Sutton at 1.3. He's a good one. There's another one that's been trending, Drake London as 1.35, and then Tyler Lockett sitting as 1.35 with the Geno Smith connection. That's not a surprise. And then Curtis Samuel as a 1.45x.
Yeah, and I absolutely love Curtis Samuel. I mean, you can tell that Washington, their whole game plan is get Curtis Samuel involved. He's so electric. They're giving him handoffs in the backfield, and he's scored multiple times this year. At 1.45x, you know that he has a chance of smashing. The downside of it is that he's also playing with Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin.
Then the third one, just the lower one, you have DJ Chark, as you said. DJ Chark is out, right?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, DJ
Chark, because he was sitting up as like one, because he was sitting as 1.6x if he wasn't out. So just want to get that information out. Trayvon Burks as 1.7x, Romeo Doubs as 1.75, Aaron Rodgers guy, because we don't know who's going to be like the number one guy for the Packers. Ronnie Moore as 1. What'd you say?
I don't trust them.
That's what I thought. Rondale Moore with 1.75x from Arizona. Richie James as 1.85x. Then you got Josh Reynolds as 1.9x, and then Matt Collins as 2x. Check Renfro status.
Yeah, I don't know if Renfro is going to play yet, but Richie James has got to be a must play. Even with the starters in, he was getting over 4.5 targets a game. So now you have Sterling Shepard out for the year. You have Kenny Galladay, trash and out. You have Kadarius Toney out. Wan'Dale Robinson out. I mean, there's no one left in New York. So it has to be Richie James.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, wait a second, Galladay played at. I remember he was in Detroit last, but I was like, wait a second, he played for the Giants. Like, yeah, he does. I was like, wow. Now here's one.
That was a terrible move. Oh my gosh. All of last year he didn't play. And then he's out there looking like AJ Green this year. So just pointless.
Right. Now here's one with the tight end. Now here's it gets a little deeper now. Now we're in the tight ends now. So for the tight end, you got Mark Andrews as 1x, a slate tight end stud. Darren Waller, who is a great tight end, he's sitting up as 1.15x. And then Kyle Pitts and Marcus Mariota, they're having a connection because he's sitting up as 1.25x.
Yeah, I don't mess around with tight end. I am Mark Andrews all the way. I do not look at any of the multipliers. I don't care because I know that Mark Andrews any given week can score twice.
Because he'll get like more than one touchdown. That's who he is for a tight end.
He can do it multiple times. So I'm just going to play him every week until he proves me wrong. He's going to at least get 7 targets a game.
Right. Because like so I always see, because I go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there's no other tight end on there. Darren Waller can be hit and miss. Kyle Pitts has been a miss all year. And we're waiting for that breakout. We're waiting for it. But Drake London is really good. And Marcus Mariota is not a quarterback that can actually support more than one receiver at a time. So it's going to be one or the other. It's not going to be both.
And then on the bottom, you got Goddard as 1.35x. Zach Ertz, 1.4x. I was like, nah. 1-1 I dumped was Pat Fireman with 1.4x. I'm not confident with him, especially we have Mitchell Trubisky. TJ Hawkinson with 1.45x. Bump with no Antoine St. Brown. And questionable is David Njoku, sitting up as 1.55x. Because on the bottom, it looks like to me, like, I'm not confident some of them this week. But if I had to choose between those, I would probably say Goddard would probably be the confidence in out of those I just mentioned at the bottom.
Yeah, I like Goddard because he can get loose, but I don't like him against Jacksonville. If I was going to pick one of the bottom ones, it'd probably be Zach Ertz, just because Arizona honestly doesn't have wide receivers right now. Yeah, Rondale Moore's supposed to play, but how much is he going to play? Is he going to pull his hamstring again? I mean, I love Rondale Moore so much. Being, Arizona guy also, I was so excited about that pick, but he has not played. I don't know if he will. Zach Ertz will be targeted.
Right there. Then, like I said about Fireman.
Yeah, I do like Pratt.
And that's what I look at when it comes to fantasy football and daily fantasy.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Trubisky and if they had like a better quarterback, I would be confident in Fireman. But since you got Trubisky, it's like, nah, I'm not confident in him.
No, I'm not huge in Freiermuth, but I do like him. So it's a different playing right on SuperDraft versus these others because we don't have to have a salary savings. Right. So I'm not doing a salary savings, then there's no reason for me to go off Mark Andrews because even if they both hit, right? Say Freiermuth hits, his hitting is going to be what? 50 yards and a touchdown? Mark Andrews, if he hits, is going to be over 100 yards and multiple touchdowns. It's still not going to add up.
And then you know what? I'm going to put, this is the first time I'm ever going to do this. I'm going to actually put 2 tight ends on my lineup because you did say, because we did mention about Andrews, because I want some targets. You know what I mean? Because some people put some running backs, you know what I mean? Or 2 quarterbacks. I hardly ever see that. But I'm going to do this for the first time on SuperDraft. I'm going to put 2 tight ends on my lineup.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not sure. That's hard.
I know people can call me
Just-
crazy for that.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy just because. So you're playing Zach Ertz, so he's going to get you a solid. He has to score, right? That's what you're banking on, because we know Zach Ertz ain't going for no 100 yards,
Right.
right? I mean, he's going to have a yak yardage of like -5. Like the dude just falls down. He has no yards after the catch. Mark Andrews, you have to play him. He's just a must play. But so now we're trying to debate, should Zach Ertz be in there, or you could put Stephon Diggs. That's tough, right?
That's very tough,
So you're playing Zach
in
Ertz.
Baltimore, especially we have Baltimore and Baltimore facing each other, because it's going to be a shootout, and you don't know what type of performance Stephon Diggs will have, if he's going to have like 100 more or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at your lineup now, and the way I build lineups, it does not matter the platform. I need that stack, and you don't have it. So Josh Allen has to be stacked with Stephon Diggs. You just have to do it. It's a must. Come on, it's a
Because
must.
I'm looking at it right now, because I'm like, wait a second, you know what? There's probably could be somebody I can release, process of elimination, because, I'll draft somebody, but like, you know what? Because, when you like build your lineup, you want to do like your process of elimination. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
For
like,
sure.
you know what? I like Devontae Adams. I like James. I like Samuel. And then they said, you know what? Let me keep Andrews. Let me get rid of this real quick. Because sometimes, okay, let me hold on a sec. Oh, there we go. Because I'm like, wait a sec, you know what? Because I'm putting in Andrews as a tight end and then putting Diggs as the flex. That'd be better.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But come on. Come on, you stupid thing. And I'll probably do it later on. But that's here and over. But so we got all the lineup for the DFS, and now we're going to do the player prop. All right. So here's the first one. Oh my gosh. Let me get that out real quick. Sorry about that, ladies. Okay, there we go.
You're good.
Okay, there we go. All right. It's StreamYard. It ain't nothing. It ain't me. All right. So here we go. So we have Justin Jefferson, according to SuperDraft. They believe that Justin Jefferson will have 89.5 receiving yards.
That's tough. Gosh. That's ugly, because do you really want to bet against Justin Jefferson? I don't. I do not want to bet against Justin Jefferson. I really don't. But you have to take the under if you're going to hit this prop. It's just too many.
That's what I was thinking. It's too much. Now, if it would have been like 63 or 62, I would say yeah. But 89 is kind of too much.
I'm all over if it's in the 70s. I'll say over. But you're talking 90 yards. Will Justin Jefferson get there most weeks? No. But he will get there like half and half. So it's just it's a hard prop. 89.5 is just really tough. And I'm sure all the simulations say under also.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Now, here's one I definitely know this is definitely going to be under. Cooper Rush, 227.5 passing yards. Now, Cooper Rush does not need to have 227.5 yards, because Washington cannot stop the run. Ezekiel Elliott can run the football if he has to. So I'm going to definitely say under on this one.
Oh, man. Which one was this?
Cooper Rush. 227.5 passing.
I'm over. Yeah, I am. I'm over. If he is starting again this week and they're not playing Dak, 227 yards, it's too low of a line.
So you got the over. Gotcha.
I got the over on that one. Yeah. That's just barely over 100 yards a half.
Okay. Now the next one, Geno Smith, 22.5 completions. Because like we just mentioned, both of these teams are not that good on defense, but I'm going to probably say under, but it's going to be close.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
like
I would go under also. 22.5? No.
He'll probably get like 18 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I would guess too. About 18.
Exactly. Yeah, 22.5 is too much.
Yeah, let's see what do they have completions? Yeah. I'm gonna actually look up what the experts out there are saying.
That's a very great question.
Geno
Smith.
They're expecting a projection of 21.
Very close.
So it's really close.
That's why I said under.
21. It's close. Yeah.
I'll be pissed off if he did get the over. Oh, I'll be pissed off.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Gosh. All right, here's another one. Lamar Jackson, 57.5 rushing yards. I can see this as an over, especially with the Bills secondary that can't stop the run because they're losing some players on secondary, so I can see this as an over.
So I played against Jalen Hurts 2 weeks in a row against the under because it was over 50 yards. He beat me one time. And Lamar Jackson being over 50 yards, it intrigues me. It makes me want to take that under. It really does, because 50 yards for a quarterback is a lot, even if it is Lamar Jackson. But I wouldn't play that prop. I wouldn't play that prop.
But it's a risk, though.
It is a risk. It's a risk.
And
it's just like, it's right there. You know, Lamar Jackson's already had 100 yards this year in a game.
Exactly.
But it's going to be wet and a mess. So it's more likely to go under.
So, yeah, like you were saying, like check the weather. So, like if it was like rainy, then it'll be like under. But if it's like a nice clear every day, I would say over. So I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a mess there.
Okay, I will check the weather before kickoff. So, and then finally, you have J.K. Dobbins, 38.5 rushing yards.
I'm going over.
I thought this was a little bit too low. I was like, that could have been I said over. I was like, that's kind of too low for that.
That's way too low. And we saw J.K. Dobbins come in, and he looked good. He looked good. And like we were just talking about, they should be running the hell out of the ball this week because it's going to be a mess. 38 yards? Yeah, I'm over.
Exactly. So as we were talking, because I was like, wait a sec. Okay, there we go. I was like, where the heck? I was doing my tight ends because it goes all messed up and stuff like that. So I finally fixed it up. It's the tight end for like Mark Andrews, and then for the wide receiver, it's Stephon Diggs. So I just want to show people what I'm talking about, so that way I can show proof. So I can share screen it. Share screen it. All right. There we go. There we go. Because, yeah, I was like, okay. All right, there we go. So I have Josh Allen, Jamal Williams, Taylor James, Devontae Adams, Curtis Samuels, Mark Andrews, and then for my flex is Stephon Diggs.
I like it. I think it's a good lineup.
Hey, and I'm definitely putting that baby in and getting some more coins. So there you go. I put it as enter. And for those, I just want to let you guys know that there is a game in London at 9:30. That's the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. That will be on the NFL Network. God, I don't know when the last time I watched an NFL game in London. I think it's been 3 years, because 3 years I haven't had the NFL Network in 3 years. But now I got YouTube TV.
Oh yeah, I do too.
I'm very happy that I got YouTube TV. It's so much exciting. Whew.
Yeah, it comes on 6:30 on the West Coast.
Okay, because you guys don't have daylight savings time over there in the mountain time.
No, yeah, that's right.
That's kind
It's
of weird.
beautiful.
So yeah, so look forward to doing something like this next week, because hey, especially during the playoff time, because like with stuff like this, it'll be very great to promote stuff like this. So we will see you guys next Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday ish, depends on where you at. And then I'm going to have another person. We're going to be doing Thursday night football. So I have you on Saturday or doing these for the Sunday afternoon games, and then I have another person do Thursday night football. So it's kind of like back and forth, all that other great stuff. So I know.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. This is the first time I've ever done daily fantasy lineup like this on YouTube. Trust me. But I've been more on the player prop side. All right. So we will see you guys next week. And you guys have a nice and wonderful day and enjoy your game and enjoy your lineup.